What's going on, Coyote Pack? Today we have a special episode for you on the Brave Wilderness channel. We've been invited to talk to a couple of very special guests. Mark, you want to tell everybody who we're going to be speaking with?
That's right, Coyote. Some very important people contacted us. In fact, yesterday we got a call from the White House that the president wants to talk to us.
Like the president of the United States?
Yes, the sitting president of the United States of America, President Biden, and special guest, Dr. Fauci. Can you believe that?
It's pretty crazy. Now, the reason we've been invited to sit down and talk with them through Zoom is we're going to get the chance to ask some rather pertinent questions surrounding COVID and the vaccine rollout. Specifically, as we get ready to have a fun summer, hopefully with some travel, our questions will help alleviate some of your concerns surrounding the vaccine and what you're able to do in these coming months.
Exactly. And by the way, just so everybody knows, we have been vaccinated, but today's question and answer session with the president and Dr. Fauci is really aimed to inform you about some things that you might not know. And at the end of this video, we're also going to have a bunch of resources for you to check out as well for those of you who are undecided. But Coyote, are we getting close to time here?
I'm getting the text right now. All right, let's transition in. It's time to meet with the president and Dr. Fauci.
Hey fellas, how are you?
Good, how are you guys doing?
I'm doing well.
Good to see you.
I'd rather be going down the Snake River in a raft than talking about this, but I'm doing well.
Nice, well thank you guys so much for taking the time to speak with us today. We're certainly looking forward to getting down to some well thought out questions, I would say. And with what Mark and I do, we are often on some pretty crazy adventures. Not sure if you guys are familiar with our work, but it's pretty wild.
Well, I understand that. Mine's really calm.
Well, we're definitely both humbled to be talking with you, Mr. President and Dr. Fauci today. And thank you first and foremost for all the hard work that you're doing. And Coyote, you want to kick us off with a question about what's going on?
Yeah, absolutely. So with our work on the Brave Wilderness channel, I get up close with all sorts of animals that people will likely be afraid of. Snakes, scorpions, sharks, even grizzly bears, and fear is usually a result of people not understanding a certain species. I could say that the same thing goes for shots and vaccines. So as I understand it, a younger generation is now being able to get the Pfizer vaccine, kids between the ages of 12 and 15. A lot of our audience demographic, which we like to joke is between the ages of 4 and 104, because we reach everybody, but a lot of them are that younger age demographic. So we're imagining that the kids and the parents themselves might be a little nervous about getting a vaccine. So what can you tell us that will help alleviate any concerns parents might have in regard to kids getting vaccinated and why children that are the appropriate age should not be afraid of the vaccine?
Well, look, I'll let the doc speak to the scientific side of that, but let me tell you the practical side as I see it. I have 6 grandchildren, and I've taken them all down to almost every national park we have. The greatest asset we have in America is our national parks for our wilderness. My point is that, exposing somebody to something that is going to be for their benefit, and if they learn about it, they'll be able to do good by it. It's the same way I explain to parents about why their 12-year-old should get the shot. They should, number one, not be afraid of the notion that they're going to get a needle in their arm. That's number one, because it doesn't hurt, by the way. Number two, it's about being good to other people. And I talk about it in terms of teaching about obligation to other people. It's not just about them, it's an obligation they have to their friends and other people. And that's the way, and I'm sure you guys have kids, you're doing the same thing, and on your show you do. You talk about the obligation we have to take care of what we've been given in the wild and so on. I'd also tell them when they get vaccinated, they can go anywhere they want. There's nothing, they can go anyway, but they can go without a mask, and they're part of something that they can demonstrate they're thinking of other people. And Doc, why don't you tell them?
Yeah, well, the important thing is that often parents ask some reasonable questions. I mean, is this really safe for my child? And did you really rush the vaccine through? Because we only found out about the virus in January of 2020, and then by December of that year, we were putting vaccine doses into people's arms. What they need to understand is that that vaccine that has been distributed, that I got, that the president got, That is the result of decades of scientific and clinical research that led to that. So nothing was rushed. That's the first thing. The other thing is some parents say, well, I'd like to wait and see what the results are. The results have been nothing short of spectacular. These vaccines are highly, highly effective, not only protecting you against disease, but they're also very good against some of these variants that are circulating around. And also, even if you do get infected, which would be very unusual, you don't spread it to someone else. So as the president said, you think about yourself, your safety, the safety of your family, but also your responsibility to the community. So those are the things we tell parents when we want to get them to appreciate why it's so important for them to get vaccinated.
Good answer. I guess that kind of leads us up to our second question. Mark, if you want to take that on, especially as he considers these next couple months that are coming up for kids and their families.
For sure. And President Biden, I'm glad you brought up travel. And it's so great that you mentioned the national parks. We feel the exact same way. Every single video we make on the Brave Wilderness channel requires some kind of travel. And needless to say, for the past year, that's been very, very difficult. However, we do recognize it's not nearly as difficult as it's been for all the families out there who haven't been able to travel to see their loved ones or take their children on those life-changing experiences in the national parks. So with this new age demographic that's been expanded for vaccination, can you both tell us a little bit about how this is going to impact summer travel plans for families?
Let me compare it to last summer as we're heading into summer. What we did was we decided that we had to get a significant amount of this vaccine produced. We're able to administer literally millions of doses of this vaccine. So now we're at 60, over 60% of the people in America have been vaccinated at least with one shot. And we get to 70, we think we're going to start to have the ability to really get our lives back to normal. So now they're going to be able to travel. They have that vaccine, that vaccination. They can get on a plane. They're probably still going to put a mask on in most planes, or planes, trains, and buses, but they're going to be able to go wherever they want to go. What it adds up, watched you guys a couple times. I don't want to exaggerate, but but I'm serious. I think what you're doing is incredibly important. What is there but to continue to provide for, as you would talk about, maintaining the brave wilderness. I mean, one of the things that I'm getting from my grandkids, and some of them are really little, calling me saying, "Pop, they're going to kill all the wolves. They're killing the wolves, Pop. Why's that happening, Pop?" So you have a generation of kids that you can have a profound impact on, but also older people as well. What do you do when you're telling them how to respond to when you see a snake? You're not saying just go get a brick and try to kill it. You're not telling people, you're telling people how to stay away from it till you know what it is. You're telling people how to respond to everything from that shark you talk about in the ocean, the vast majority of which they're not going to attack anybody. They're not doing anything. I want them to see and understand that we all have a responsibility to nature, but we also have a responsibility to one another.
We are an interconnected world, and we stay interconnected by travel. So travel is really very important. And the gateway to safe travel is to get vaccinated. And that's one of the many reasons why we are so bullish on saying, get as many people vaccinated as you possibly can. Everything will get better, but also we'll be able to travel safely. That's a real plus.
Hey, Coyote, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Of all the scenes you've done, what one have you enjoyed the most, and what one did it give you an insight you didn't have before? You know what I mean?
Great question. It's tough to ever pick a favorite, but I'll use the one that we produced recently at the Colorado Wolf and Wildlife Center, all about saving wolves. And the fact that you even called out today that your grandkids are recognizing just the atrocities that are being done to wipe wolves out. They need protections now more than ever. So that episode we produced is one of the most meaningful pieces we've ever done, and very thrilled to hear that you've got support for wolves just like we do.
I'm in with you. And let me know the places where you think, no, I mean this sincerely now. Let me know what you think are the most at-risk natural resources we have out there. I have my views, and I've been working on it. We got a lot of, I had someone head up the Department of Interior who really cares about it. You ought to talk to me about it. And by the way, I'm a big dog person. Every single species of dog, every single breed has come from the gray wolf. Every single one.
Tell you what, Mr. President, you let me know when you're ready to take a grand adventure. If you want to meet a wolf in person, I can get you situated with that. Just send Air Force One out. Mark and I will be ready for any adventure you guys want to go on.
Well, by the way, I have spent time with wolves on 2 occasions.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
A real wolf and other wolves, you know. Anyway, thank you guys. You're awful nice. Thank you.
Thank you both. So humbled by this opportunity, and we really are excited for our audience to hear these feedback points from both of you, and hopefully they learned something today. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Wow. I don't even know how to react right now. That was crazy. We just talked to the President of the United States and Dr. Fauci.
I cannot believe that. Like, I was so impressed by the answers. Like, I had no idea that President Biden was that into nature and the parks and all the things that he talked about. I was blown away.
I really like that he asked me the question about an episode that was meaningful to me, and that I got the chance to mention the work that we did at the Colorado Wolf and Wildlife Center and the protection that wolves need, and to hear his support behind that. It just opens up my imagination for all the things that might be possible if I can really take him up on his offer of getting involved with more conservation initiatives.
So cool. Well, hopefully everybody at home learned a lot from today's discussion as well. And I do want to say and stress, please don't take this video as some kind of political statement from the Brave Wilderness channel or Coyote or myself. For those of you who've been watching us over the years, we are not a political brand by any means, but these are two very important leaders that are leading an extremely important effort. And we wanted you all to be able to appreciate this experience like we have, but more so, if you don't have the information you need yet, we have more links in the description below, because we want everybody at home to be feeling good and feeling informed and feeling safe as we all get through this pandemic together. So thank you again for watching, and we hope that you learned something today and you got something from it.
I'm Coyote Peterson.
And I'm Mark Vins.
Be brave.
Stay wild.
We'll see you on the next adventure. Or the next Zoom meeting. Man, that was crazy.